Hello and welcome to our channel. Okay, so what are we looking at here today? We're looking at a couple of Stahlhelms. What we have here, we have a model of 1916, this is a reproduction, model of 1916 German Stahlhelm. This right here is not a German reproduction model 1916 Stahlhelm. This is actually a Vickers helmet. Made by the Vickers company, who had captured all the helmet making equipment from Imperial Germany after the Great War. And another reproduction, this is a reproduction model 1935 German steel helmet. Now we're going to do a little compare and contrast. We see right here with the 1916 model Stahlhelm, you see these two lugs on the side, which were put there for ventilation initially, to allow air inside. They also had a second purpose of hanging what was a hardened steel plate over the front of the Stahlhelm, to give the wearer extra protection if the wearer was in, say, a machine gun position or a sniper position or some forward position or a forward observation post from the trench line, where they'd be more exposed to enemy fire. Heavy steel plate would be hung on the front to give, because these helmets were designed to protect from shrapnel coming down from the top, from bursting shrapnel shells. They were never designed to stop or deflect direct gunfire. So the heavy steel plate on the front, that served that purpose, and these lugs had an additional purpose of hanging that steel plate. Now, when the Vickers company acquired, let me use the word acquired, that equipment, the helmet making equipment from the factories that were making Imperial German 1916 helmet. We see this used by the Irish Free State. Now, while the Vickers company had the equipment, they didn't necessarily have the process. These were made in Germany using multiple stampings. What that would mean was that the blank of steel would go into a press and be pressed so far and then stop, and then be moved to another press and pressed again, and then to another press and pressed again, until the final shape was achieved, and then rolled along the edges just to get rid of all the sharp edges. The Vickers company, they did that, but they didn't bother with all the multiple pressings. They just did a single press, and voila, there's your helmet. With the result that the thickness of the steel wasn't the same all the way around. So, well, you might have fairly thick or heavy gauge steel, by the time you get to the crown of the helmet, it will be considerably thinner. And it wasn't so with the German one. The gauge of the steel stayed the same all the way around due to the multiple pressings. Significant weight difference as well. We know this is a reproduction, so we're not really getting a like-for-like comparison between a German Stahlhelm and a British-made Vickers Irish Free State helmet, but there is a significant weight difference. Okay, here we are in grams. Okay, set that 0 grams. Okay, dokie. Right, 1.794 kilos, so that's a significant weight. And the Vickers helmet, (1.036 grams), so 0.7 of a kilo. That's a very significant difference in weight. Now we'll have a little look at the model 1935, the weight. 1.368 kilos. So even the German World War II M35 model, which was made refined to be lighter, though yes, it is lighter than the model 1916, is still heavier than the Vickers. Now you can see on the Vickers helmet, slight difference in the rivets used to hold the liner in. See, the rivets are kind of flat, and also we have this for mounting the Irish Army cap badge, which will be mounted here on the front. Now this should be a kind of a dark green colour. This is exactly the way I found it. I didn't do anything to it, didn't paint it, didn't do anything to it. It's some knocks to the top, the paint is flaked off, but that's the way I got it, and that's kind of the way I'm going to leave it, I think. The rivets on the German are these kind of round, pronounced rivets. Now I don't know if this is because it's a reproduction, or was the leather actually that light on the German model. You see the liner, they're very, very similar. The liners are very similar in design there. The way they're made, the way they function. Also the way the straps are attached are very, very similar. Now this is a very heavy gauge leather on the reproduction of the model 1916, but the gauge on the Vickers helmet is even heavier again. A very heavy gauge leather, even though this is considerably old, probably 100 years old now. The leather is still in remarkably good shape. And on the model 1935, they've gotten rid of these lugs because will serve no purpose in the 1935 models. They simply pressed the same ventilation holes into the side using a press, and the chin strap attachment is just some buckles onto the liner. The liner is different. We can see the difference in the liner. So thank you very much for watching this presentation, and we hope you learned something. Good day.